Welcome back, Micro Galaxians. I want to do something a little bit different today. Like I've said previously, I want my channel to be about archiving and just stuff to look back on for years to come. So I want to do a deeper dive into the Series 5 Scout class. This is the entire collection box from the Jazwares vault. It has all 8 vehicles, including the rares and the chase. And so I want to open this up, break it down, show you all the vehicles close up, and see what it has to offer. Let's talk Series 5 Scout class Micro Galaxy Squadron. It does come with 2 layers of protective packaging, which is great because if you do order this, it should arrive minty fresh. But here is a good look at that box, and it is sharp looking, that is for sure. Right off the bat, something that I did notice is that they took away the holographic sheen and look to the packaging, and they went with more of a matte look. You know, the logoing, the stickers, and all that kind of stuff does have some hollow and some glossy looks to it, but they totally changed it up, and you know, it looks good. Looks really classy, and I would expect them to pay more attention to the packaging for something that is exclusive as this. And it is 1 out of 1,500. Let's open this baby up. I do love that they have this like little insert right there to protect it, you know, super classy. But when you open it up, it does still have that holographic look to it. You can see a big dogfight showdown going on. We've got the Millennium Falcon, a few TIE fighters going throughout. The highlight to this has got to be the presentation of all 8 figures, just like so. And you see that they did highlight which ones are the rares and then which one is the actual chase. And for this set, it is Boba Fett with a Nikto speeder. But what's even cooler about this is that you can take out each of these without destroying the packaging whatsoever. That is like the best part about this. With all the other sets that they have, they come in the original packaging, so you technically have to open the packaging to actually play with the ship or display it. But being able to take them out and then pop them right back in and then take this one out is just absolutely genius. Since we're able to do that, I'm going to take out each and every one of these and display them, give you some close-ups of how they look outside of the packaging. But before we do that, here's how they look inside of the packaging. Now, it costs $60. It is exclusive to that Jazwares vault, so you're basically paying about $7.50 per figure, which is a little more expensive than retail. But there's a few things that you have to take into consideration. A, gas. B, somebody has already found the case, opened it up, and taken the figures. And then like C, going to a store or multiple stores and them not even having a single case of Micro Galaxy Squadron. So you can knock this out in one go, and I do like that. I do like that they were able to do this. And you know, I'm able to check off a lot of rares, a lot of chases off my list, not only between Scout class, but the Starfighter class and everything else in between. And you get a freaking cool display box to hold all of this in. We are going to kick this off starting from bottom to top, saving the rare and the chase for last, of course. So this is the Flintlock speeder. Comes with a little Geonosian. You can see he has some little gold details right there in his little diaper area, but the speeder looks great. This is the first appearance of it, but I believe they re-released it again within Series 6 because I've been hunting those down recently, and I ended up pulling one of those speeders, which I'm not upset about that at all. I mean, this is a perfect army building figure. And then here on the backhand side, you can see those little wings. And so overall, great looking figure. They all come with their little stands. And here is how he looks riding said speeder. Next to him is a battle droid with the STAP speeder. Now, the stand is a little bit different than the rest of the vehicles. You just put that baby in like so, it sits in there, and then it does have a clip to hold the battle droid, so you got to flex the feet a little bit, and he'll clip into place just like so, and boom, we are good to go. Very cool little vehicle, one that you definitely want multiples of. Now, this isn't the first appearance of it. They also had a normal blind box version of this with like the lighter tan battle droid, and then they also had that like big battle pack that had the tanks as well. But this is technically the first appearance of this darker brown, like burgundy battle droid in a blind box form. This flight stand does provide you with another way to display. So on the side right here, you can place the speeder in just like so. And what I've done in the past is I've taken like a diorama foam board and I've just pushed this stand into it, and it basically looks like he's flying through the air without having the stand exposed. Next up is the Imperial Combat Driver with the 614 AVA speeder bike. Now, I think this is the second time we've ever received this figure, this character. Lego, I believe, is the only company that has made this particular trooper in figure form. Black Series hasn't done it, TVC hasn't done it, so pretty cool that we're getting such, you know, one-off kind of characters or obscure vehicles, and that is one of the things that I do enjoy the most about Micro Galaxy Squadron, is we're getting just an array of different characters, vehicles, and just like different pieces that we haven't got before. This is really a great little figure. The bike looks awesome. You can see there's a little Imperial logo. The paint details to these figures is awesome. Very impressed that they're able to add so much to such a small scale figure. Now we're going to head all the way back to Season 1 of The Mandalorian with the mobile gun platform. This is probably within the top 5 of my favorite Scout class pieces, because you can put this on the ball joint and you can maneuver it all different directions. So this is the second version we have of this. The very first one came with the Stormtrooper, and I love this one so much, and I wish I had like 10 or 15 of them, because man, like just being able to fill a scene with this would be absolutely epic. And that's one of my favorite things too, is because this is, I guess it's a vehicle. I mean, it is more of like an environmental piece, you know, to put within like a scene. I just really think that this set has a lot of value to it. I mean, you can put it on this ball joint, and on top of that, it has articulation, so you can take this turret and spin it a full 360. You can't really go up and down too much. I mean, it just has like wiggle room because of the peg, but I mean, having all of that and a figure for the $5 price point, or I guess technically $7.50 in this, you know, bracket, is awesome. I mean, while we're here, we might as well do a comparison of the previous sets. I think this was Series 2, Series 3, but anyways, it is the same sculpt. The only difference is it's just like slight weathering. I mean, this one looks a little bit more rusted out compared to this one. But honestly, what is most impressive about this is the differences between our Mandos. So this is the Mando that came with the Razor Crest, and now this is the current one with the mobile gun platform. I mean, just look at the major differences. I mean, they've really honed in the paint application that they've done from Series 1 all the way to Series 5, and that's just really cool to see a company make noticeable differences. But overall, it's a great piece. Mando fits in there on the clip, no problem. You can see more of the little rusted details all throughout this little mobile gun platform. Looks great, and again, I would love to have so many of these that come with the Stormtrooper. And of course, like our Series 1 Mando, his little cape does come off, and there is a peg hole to place it back on. Halfway through this set, we have a Mandalorian Warrior and a Swoop Bike. Both of them are rocking blue tones. The Mando definitely has some more paint applications to him with some black trim. The Swoop Bike itself has no real appearance of weathering. It is a little lackluster as far as the paint applications go, but it does have the blue trim that complements the Mando. This Mando looks great. Loving the paint applications. The visor is nice and piercing. Let's see if that jetpack is removable. It should be. And yep, comes off no problem. Little peg pinhole system. Pop it right back on. I'm sure you can swap this with some other Mandos if you wanted to. You know, they did a really good job with the sculpting. There is a holstered blaster as well as some silver trim to the shins. There's also a matching silver gauntlet to the left arm. Now we're going to move into our very first rare, the Shadow Scout Trooper. One of the coolest pieces and characters to Star Wars. It's just such a menacing looking figure. Rocking that all black, you can see the Imperial logo on the chest to this little Scout Trooper, as well as the front of the bike itself. Now this is just such an iconic character, and you know, this Black Series version of this sells for like $150+ or something like that, which is absolutely wild. I mean, they've never re-released it or anything like that, but the overall scheme to this is very simple. Black on black, everything looks great. Here's how he looks riding the speeder bike, and man, I would love to have like 4 or 5 of these things, but you know, I never really saw a whole lot of Series 5 in stores. You know, Micro has been very hit and miss in my area of Texas. It's like, I don't know, there's collectors that just come out of the woodwork, and they got Hot Wheel collectors that are raiding the pallets, you know, trying to get their little Hot Wheel cars, the little die cast, and they're also hitting, you know, Micro Galaxy Squadron because they know there's chases and stuff. But I am happy I'm able to get at least one of these within this collection set. We are nearing the end with our second and final rare vehicle, and that is Aura Singh and the Starhawk Speeder with these crazy mitts she's got on her. That is wild. I mean, it looks like she's got UV gloves on or something like that. You know, I had to double check because I forgot that her hands were, or her fingers were like that big. So, I mean, I tip my hat to you, Micro Galaxy Squadron, for making her extremely screen accurate with those mitts. On top of that, she has a sculpted holster and simple paint apps throughout the entire bike. Silver tones. We have like a dark brown and then like a different color for the seats. No real weathering because they put all of that budget in those hands. All right, imagine you're one of her bounties and she finally finds you, and instead of shooting you with a blaster or like sniping you, she decides to like choke you out with those. That is fear. I would rather go out like Palpatine or be cut in half with a lightsaber than being choked to death with those. All right, we're just going to go ahead and put her back. Now, our final piece, the Chase, Boba Fett and the Nikto Speeder. All right, so I know that having a Chase item in any toy line or whatever is very taboo, but I think when it's done like this with a character that not everybody wants, I think that is the best way to do that. And I think having this Boba Fett figure as the Chase piece in this is perfect because it's such a one-off piece. It's very obscure. It's from like one scene out of the entire Book of Boba Fett series. Whereas if you put like Fennec Shand as the Chase piece and you can only get her from the Scout class, like people would be upset about that. I would be upset about that. So having a variation of Boba Fett that isn't highly sought after as the Chase is definitely the way to go. With that being said, the figure itself looks good. He's wearing that jumpsuit that's all beat up and kind of tattered, and you can see they even sculpted like the little scarring to his head right there. That's awesome looking. No little eye details, which is fine because it might look too beady and like kind of look scary. But the bike itself looks beautiful. Awesome sculpting. I mean, it's very unique and it looks true to how we see it within the show itself. Now, I wasn't a big fan of the Book of Boba Fett. I wanted to be really bad, but it had its moments, it had its scenes. So if this is like the last real big piece that we get from the Book of Boba Fett, then I'm pretty okay with that. Actually, I will say, if they do start implementing like creatures, like a Rancor, like I would be pretty happy to see a Boba Fett style figure riding a Rancor. I think that would be amazing. But he does look pretty perfect on this bike, and if you wanted to, you could recreate that scene where he's hobbling up and down on the bike. And you know, this is just such a fun, unique little piece. I really can't see any toy company, you know, really rushing to make this. You know, this might be the only time you get this particular Boba Fett on this particular speeder bike ever. You know, I mean, maybe Hasbro might decide to make the figure at some point, maybe, but I mean, the Book of Boba Fett's been said and done for a long time. And obviously, it wasn't perceived the best, so they're probably not going to put any focus on that. So nonetheless, said and done, this is a great Chase piece, and very happy to add it to the collection. Alright, that's going to do it for this Series 5 Scout Class complete set from Micro Galaxy Squadron. $60, about $7.50 a figure, which I think is a great deal because if you take into consideration all the gas you're going to spend by going to different stores, they might not even have them in store. Somebody may have even opened them up, taken the figures, and they're gone. And then if you think about, if I spend the money on eBay for the Chase vehicles, you're looking at spending 3 or maybe 4 times the amount of the normal cost for it. So taking all those things into consideration, $60 is a great price for this. You're able to knock out everything in one go. And you get it in a nice, awesome little limited edition box, which I like stuff like that. I'm a collector, so I really enjoy unique and, you know, collectible pieces like that. In fact, this set is still in stock on the Jazwares vault. I'll post that link in the description below. And Jazwares actually sent this set over to me. They sent me a care package with this and a few other things. So I want to say thank you to Jazwares for being so generous to me and sending this over. That is all I got for you with this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, be sure to like and subscribe. It helps out the channel and lets me know that I'm doing a good job. Be sure to connect with me on Instagram and TikTok to stay up to date when new things drop like the rest of Micro Galaxy Squadron. I also post toy photography and toy videos. Till then, collectors, I'll see y'all in the next video.